I was with this guy, and he was older than me, of course. And he took a loaded gun and he held it in my mouth.
Okay, here we are. We have ding, ding, ding. We have achieved the toxic. Yes, here we go. I saw a TikTok where a guy was asking girls what behavior that was toxic that they really enjoyed. And none of the girls had any problems answering this question. They thought was that they secretly, toxic behavior that they secretly like. So it could be toxic behavior, first off, from your male partner or female partner, and then toxic behavior maybe that you do, right? So like, definitely I've been with girls before who like obviously started arguments completely just to see if I would react. Okay, that would be considered toxic behavior. Do you guys have any toxic behavior that you like from men? Anything?
Narcissism.
You like it?
Yeah. Honestly, it sounds ridiculous, but like, I don't know. There's just that level of confidence and talent and power and energy that comes along with that. Like, I mean, you kind of have to find a balance.
But there's a difference between walking in the room and being confident and walking in the room and just being an asshole.
Yeah.
Like if you could stand tall and be confident, or stand tall and just think you're better than everybody and just be like, you're a bitch.
That's interesting.
But that's kind of hot sometimes, honestly.
No, it's super hot when a guy can just knows who he is and can own his shit. Like, that can approach both of us and talk and not say something stupid.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that's the kind of guy that we would be with, like someone that can.
They're not intimidated by you.
Yeah, well, I mean, all of us. You guys are gorgeous.
But
all of you.
Two of you at once is intimidating.
A guy that understands his own value to women.
Exactly. Yeah, but
I don't know if that necessarily makes him a narcissist, but have you dated an actual narcissist?
Absolutely.
Doesn't care about your
but also exacerbates
no. Like, narcissistic personality maybe towards, like, everybody else.
Not traits towards us.
No, like, what you were saying, like, ride or die, being, like, emotionally safe or whatever. Like, I would never choose to sleep in the same bed with someone that I did not feel safe with. That would never happen.
Fair enough.
Ever.
Oh, I've been like, do you want to call an Uber or should I? Like, because
I
don't do sleepovers, but thanks.
Because Michael, you guys were talking about a ride or die, but I would never be with somebody that I didn't feel that way.
Well, you're best friends,
and vice versa. Yeah, they got to be my best. Like, we're partners. Like, we got to.
What you were saying about your husband, like that.
Is there any other toxic behavior that men have done that you like?
Right when I meet someone and they tell me all the things that they want to do, I think
you.
Yeah.
Like
I
sexually
so
or
up.
like life plans.
Either or.
Like they oversell themselves.
Either or. Just like again, it goes with the confidence. When someone knows what they want, they know who they are, and they're not afraid to own it.
I want to say that's really toxic. What are like the toxic things? For example, one of them was like, I like it when my man yells at me.
No, then go yell at somebody else.
No. Not saying that's you. But more a toxic thing. You're like, I like it when a guy's confident and has goals. Very toxic. Those are the toxic qualities I like.
I like when my man communicates with me properly and tells me his feelings. What a fucking asshole. He's completely honest with me and expresses his feelings in an honest and healthy way. Piece of shit. Laura, what's something toxic that men do?
Honestly, I'll probably end up marrying like my stalker. Like I like, I like to know that a man
loves me.
Yeah,
you hear that, gentlemen?
That he's not like so on my ass, like where I know every day that he's looking at my shit and watching me, but eventually throughout the relationship, I catch on to like, oh shit, you've been watching me. Where I should be creeped out, I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I've like that show you.
I like that.
Like that show you. You want that type of guy?
Okay, all right. So funny thing is, if you guys ever read Why Women Have Sex by David Buss and Cindy Messon, one of the things they talk about is one of the chapters is actually on stalking. And the reason why men stalk, do you want to know why? Because about 8% of the time, it works.
Yeah. That's how that first boyfriend got me. He wouldn't leave me alone for months.
Yeah, so about 1 out of 12 times,
he's like, that's
it works.
not a no.
It does work.
Before we move on to the next girl,
she hasn't filed a restraining order yet. That's not a no.
Yeah, still in restraining orders are so still in set.
Yes. So sexy. All right, I got some science here. Thank you,
she
Rob
knows my
Henderson,
name.
for this. Women rated male characters designed to capture high dark triad facets of personality, meaning narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism, or a control personality. Physicality was held constant. Women rated the high dark triad characters as significantly more attractive. And look at the this is significantly 0.94. It's almost a perfect score. It's almost a perfect
0.94.
score.
Just so you know, like 1 standard deviation would be 0.68. That'd be a pretty high correlation. A 1.5 standard deviations would be 0.84, and then 2 standard deviations would be 0.95. So that's 2 standard deviations. That's pretty high.
Do you guys like narcissists? Guys who have
I'm married 2 of them.
Yeah, so 2 for 2.
Now I'm 0 for 2.
0 for 2.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah,
so
but
Laura,
you
you
like
like
that with everybody else, but not with you.
Okay.
No, what? No, they were like that with everybody else. I think I was attracted because they were like, I am the motherfucker. Like they walked around like that.
That's hot.
And
though.
I used to
That's hot, though.
I used to be an ex-fat smart kid that like got picked on in school. So like none of the like narcissist like pretty guys ever like looked at me. So when the two narcissists that did, and they were like, you know, everybody else looked at them because they were the like fucking they thought they were like the best, and
They were
everybody
him.
treated them that way, and they like looked at me. I felt special.
You're the
and,
chosen
like,
one.
Yeah, well, now I know better.
Nice.
Oh my god.
All right, so so we got the narcissism, the stalking. What do we think, Jesse Preston? What are something that a guy that's done that's toxic that you actually like?
Yeah.
I've sat here this entire time listening to everyone talk, and I can't think of a single thing. I do not find any toxic traits sexy to me. I've worked
You know, I
way
kinda-
too hard on
Did
being
you
emotionally
previously?
mature and having a healthy life and relationship. My peace is too valuable for any toxicity.
Good.
Oh, I know that now.
All right, next
Previously,
girl.
did you have one? Have any talk like maybe when you were younger?
Probably in my. Okay, so speaking of narcissism, the person that I was with before my current marriage,
Yeah.
he was a full-blown narcissist. And at some points before I even knew he was a narcissist, I thought something was wrong. But once I
We're not
figured
talking about
out,
Miami guy. We're talking about after that.
after that,
We're
yeah,
talking about, okay, I know what you're talking about.
he exuded a lot of like very just like I will kill for you, and I will also kill you. And I was like, oh my god, that's nice. But like now I know
The Steve
better.
Harvey effect.
Now I really, yeah. But the thing is that that's scary. When I realized that it was true and it wasn't as sexy anymore, I realized that's not anything that's attractive to me.
How long did you stay with him?
3.5 years.
Was that how long? Was
It was on, like,
how long
back and
after
forth.
you figured out he was like that?
I figured it out 2 years in, and I kept going to my therapist, and she's like, "You're staying because you're in love. A, B, you're also Stockholm when you fall in love with your kidnapper,
Yeah.
and
Not
they
uncommon for women.
right. And every time that I would break up with him, which was like maybe no exaggeration, 5 or 6 times, every time I broke up with him, I went into withdrawal, and I felt like an addict who had lost my supply. And I would lose my shit. Like I couldn't eat, I couldn't function, I couldn't stand up. My best friend had to come bathe me in my
Your
tub.
body chemistry.
Yeah, like I couldn't keep my eyes open. I couldn't have a conversation. So it literally affected me in a really big way. And when I realized that he was a narcissist, I was like, okay, maybe I can help him. Maybe I can cure him. Maybe I can fix this.
Well, we all thought that.
We all thought at some
can't.
point.
Impossible.
Right. And when I realized that there was no helping it, I called it down and I did the no contact and never looked back.
Clean break.
Yeah.
How did you file? Would you file for? No, I'm sorry, you weren't married.
We weren't married.
Okay, got it.
No,
Okay,
thank
got
God.
it. Beautiful.
Was
Anything?
was it exciting though, being with him?
I think it was exciting during the love bombing phase, the 6 months in the beginning where they make
Crumbing.
everything feel like you're, oh my God, where have you been my whole life? You're perfect. In those 6 months, it was so exciting. I was like, because previous to that, I was married for 11 years to a complete nerd who had zero
Love
charisma
nerds.
or swag. And enjoying sex for the first time and enjoying a partner that you have fun with, I was so excited. It was so exciting. And there were no lows. It was just constant coasting of highs and love. And I was like, where has this been my whole life? Why was I with someone for 11 years that didn't make me feel like this?
But you didn't know any better.
But 6 months in, when the mask came off,
How old were you when all this was going on?
I just turned 29 the month before him and I got together. Yeah. But no, as soon as that
phase.
6 month love bombing phase ended and the real stuff started to come out, yeah, it wasn't fun anymore. It has its good moments because that's what narcissists do, right?
Yep.
They
Yep.
give, they take, they give, they take, they dangle the carrot.
Yep.
So
They crumb.
right, they
Yep.
breadcrumb you.
Breadcrumbing. Yep.
I did what I could.
Before we go to Jody, real quick, again, Rob Henderson. In modern society, the most violent gang members often have the highest status compared to non-violent peers. Young male gang members between 14 and 18 years old were 5.7 times more likely to have had sex and 3.2 times more likely to have gotten a girl pregnant.
Wow. 3 times. So 300%.
Yeah.
500% more likely to have sex. Pretty incredible.
There goes your mate switching.
There we go.
hypothesis.
There you go. You boss, has there ever been previous maybe a toxic behavior that you've seen in a man that was attractive?
I'm not attracted.
Guilty
but
pleasure.
For some reason, I was attracted to
No more gym bros, though.
Go ahead.
So
to that whole cycle of.
The gym bro? Cycle.
The
cycle.
Well, the cycle.
The cycle?
I went
Yeah.
through a
See what
lot
you
of
did there.
cycles. I
Yeah.
guess.
Cycles.
Hey, can you push the plunger for me, honey? I can't reach it. It's back here on my ass. Can you push the plunger in? This TRT, the sip is really fucking thick, and I need you to push it in my ass.
it's a peptide.
Is it okay? It's a peptide. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like funny. A lot of people act like they don't know that joke. All
I
right,
do credit
cool.
card merchant processing for peptides, by the way. So
There we
if
go.
you need a credit card processor for
Get a
medical marijuana
there we go.
or peptides,
Or if you want to
hit me
launder
up.
money, you know what I'm saying? You never know.
Well, I was a banker. I know how to do
Okay,
that too.
so the steroid bro.
Well, which one? There was a lot.
Did you just find yourself just so physically attracted to the shoulder to waist ratio, and you just didn't? You were blinded by what you were
Yes.
seeing. Is that what's going on?
Here's my biggest mistake I ever
Okay.
made. Well, I'm a lot older than most of you, probably all of you. But in my 20s, when I was in college, I didn't date anybody. I was so disciplined. I was studying. I was pre-med, wanted to go to medical school. I started competing in fitness competitions. I was a cheerleader, all this crap. So the first guy I meet, of course, he's from the gym. So from there, it was like this cycle. I've always was attracted to the gym guy because we had a lot in common. We were working out, blah, blah, blah. But with that, and like I said, I don't want to stereotype because I know there's probably gym rats out there that are amazing. But guys are really into like the bodybuilding. It comes with a lot of narcissism. And even as a fitness competitor, yeah, it's a very selfish sport, and you have to be really into yourself and what you're doing, your diet, your training, all that. But at the same time, if you're finding those guys and that's all they're into, well, that's probably all they're ever going to be into, meaning they're not going to be into you, they're not going to be into your feelings, they don't care if they hurt you, that sort of thing. And unfortunately, my experience led to a lot of abuse. I went through a lot of abusive relationships. And that sort of thing. So finally, when I was like, okay, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why am I attracting to these guys? I had to stop completely like dating and be like, okay, what's going on with me? Why am I attracting these guys?
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, toxic behavior that you like. Let's grab that one right here. Can you pull that thing over to her?
She can use this.
All right, okay. I would have to say that it's like I like to dominate a guy, and it would be more in like the bedroom. My toxic.
That's not
trait.
really toxic.
I
You
know.
dominate, especially anything better.
I know, but I do.
all right.
I think I do some crazy things. Like I I was with this guy, and he was older than me, of course. And he took a loaded gun and he held it in my mouth.
Okay, here we are. We have ding, ding, ding. We have achieved the toxic. Yes, here we go. I was confused. Correct. That is the answer to the question we certainly asked. Go ahead, Kate. So what happened there? Was it loaded?
It was loaded.
God dang, man.
And he held it in my mouth, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I just got anxiety.
Oh my God.
That's great. Anything else like that?
Anything else? I mean,
He held you over a balcony and shit? And like, while he punched you in the face? He held you by your hair over a balcony and punched you in the head at the same time?
thing I've done in bed, and I was shocked that I liked it. Like, he was kind of drunk, and he didn't even know he was
drunk with a
Oh God.
Yeah.
Guilty.
That is on a spectrum I was not expecting. Monica, what have you ever had anything like that?
Sexual roulette.
I can't even believe what I'm hearing.
Holy shit.
I thought Burning Man was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, I've been myself through toxic relationships, of course. I think we've all been through that, but like that's like really extreme. I'm so sorry. This is terrible. I'm just glad you're okay.
Right?
That's just shocking for me. Like I don't know. I guess this is. No, I mean, I've been through a lot of abusive relationships. Like, actually, just one really abusive relationship, and then the other ones were just mentally abusive, because most of the abuse happens when you don't even see it. You know, some people just abuse you mentally, pulling you down, lowering your self-esteem and stuff like that. There was like times when I was, I was with a boy from when I was 18 till I was 23. I was very committed in this relationship, and I only had eyes for him. I fell in love for the first time ever, probably, and anything he did to me, like, it was kind of like my fault. You know, I thought it's okay. You know, I probably pissed him off. That's why he did it, you know. That was my excuse. But my family was trying to get me out of there for like years. 5 years, I think it took me to realize that it should be over. But yeah, I mean, and after that, I ran into another idiot who did even worse things to me. But like, kind of, I think after him, I had another one that was like, but then I was like almost done with like, my tolerance of abuse. So I'm like, I right now, I'm like, if I even sense a sign of any kind of toxicity with friendships, people, anything, not boyfriends only, like I am out. Like I'm out. My energy, my good vibes is everything that I stand for, and I would never let anyone toxic in my life ever again.
Okay.
After what I've been through and what I'm seeing
So
around me.
one of the reasons why I'm doing this, what we're asking these questions, is because a lot of times women, especially when they give advice to men, they give this horrible advice about be yourself.
No, you have to be the best version.
Yeah,
of
the best
yourself.
version of yourself. And the thing is, like, when I want these men out here to hear, like, attractive women, you guys saying how I went out for these guys and they had these toxic traits, so that these guys, for the first time in their life, have heard the truth that the church, that Disney, and their mother was not willing to tell them. Okay, and like, because it's for me, one of the reasons why, like, when I picked up his book the first time, Irrational Male, the reason why the book, like, in the first paragraph, like, resonated with me so much, especially the second chapter, I believe, is there, you don't have a soulmate.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why that resonated with me so much is because I managed a strip club, and obviously that's not indicative of all women, but it is some of the worst attributes that you'll ever see. And just consistently seeing women who, remember, I'm 22 years old, these women were fantastically beautiful to me at the time. For me to see that, and for me to see the consistent behavior of the men that they chose over and over again, and like, after what I'd been told and seeing beautiful women choosing these men, that's why when I picked up his book, I was like, yeah, obviously this all makes sense to me. But a lot of people don't go through that. They'll get married and they believe, well, I've put a ring on her finger, therefore I will get loyalty and blowjobs for the rest of my life. I'm guaranteed those things. She will never leave me. She will never take the kids, and she will never fuck one of my friends. It'll never happen. And then sometimes those things happen. Like, we don't hold up our ends of the bargain. So that's why I'm actually really love you guys actually saying this shit, because you're a girl that guys might want to date. And the fact that you've dated, now hopefully you've learned from your mistakes.
No,
but,
yeah,
but
definitely right now. This is what I'm saying. When you asked me
Yeah.
earlier if I'm in a relationship, I'm like, listen, I don't even like,
There's PTSD from
I
your previous
have so much
relationships.
PTSD from my past relationships. I'm super careful, and the fact that I'm here in a complete new country, I'm just like, my whole focus is on something else, to set up my life and to make my life good, so I can do whatever I want, and so no one can ever tell me